See when we go. We're live.
Hey,
Hello.
everybody.
Hi. We're not sure if Johnny's asleep or what, but we did send him an invite, so maybe he'll show up. We don't know.
I sent him a text and said, Ted Cruz wants you to read on him again.
I missed it last week. So what the hell were you guys asking that?
I don't even remember what. Oh, we were looking at him running for. Oops. Sorry, I had my YouTube sound on. We were looking at he's running for Senate again. He said he's running for Senate, not for president. And we got tickled talking about Trump, saying his wife was ugly and his daddy killed JFK. And then once Johnny got tickled, I got tickled. We couldn't get it together.
I'm going to have to go back and watch it.
It's in the last 15 minutes of last week. I put a timestamp in for it, so y'all can go watch it if you missed it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, yeah, I was feeling a little under the weather, so I just took off last week, but feeling better today. So we're here.
I do know Johnny's tarot classes are starting Friday night, I believe. Is that right, Lucky Girl? If you're interested in taking it, you can email Johnny at tarot'sapprentice@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
If you'd like a reading with Becca, you can read her at House of Lenormand Readings at gmail.com. And if you'd like a reading with me, you can go to jinlintarot.com.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I recommend, because we all read for each other throughout the weekend and the after show and all. It's not we just do. And
I never have to go outside of us for a reading anymore because I can get them in the after show if something comes up.
And so, yeah, highly recommend. I don't think I've ever done a GT for you, Jenny or Johnny, but I see some people in the chat that I've done GTs for. So, because that's all I offer is GTs and 1 hour readings, and that's it.
I've done readings for some people that you've done GTs for that loved it.
So they're fun, and it's a lot easier when you have a person instead of let me look at this grand tableau 8,000 different ways, So that's how it works. So any announcements, Jenny? Besides
nothing else for this week.
Nothing else?
Johnny also went live Monday night, so if y'all missed that, it got a little silly in it also.
Oh, there's Jules. Get a GT from Becca. Yeah, I read for her on a GT. And I think I've done Sunflower as well and a few others, but yeah. We went to the aquarium. I was telling Jenny, everybody kept texting me to see if I was alive because of
all the snow.
And all the snow and all the stuff that's happening in California. I must have been living under a rock because, I wasn't feeling well to begin with. And then I'm getting text messages. Are you alive? Is everything okay? I'm like, yeah. They're like, we were seeing the weather on the news. I'm like, oh, we're fine over here. So
Anne in chat is asking, what would you ask in a GT? When Becca does a GT, she does like 1 year out, and she'll give you a lot of information. Just if you've watched one of her GTs, like on Trump or somebody in politics, you can see all the information she can get. And then if you have a question, sometimes the answer's within it.
Yeah.
You can find it. You can,
Yep,
if somebody has a question about health, it may be there.
Yep. It'll be there because the tree is going to show up, it's all there. But, so yeah, everybody was texting me. I was like, what the hell is going on? And then I asked Peanut and he's like, it snowed in LA. And I was like, it snowed in LA. I was like, what the hell?
6.5 feet in some of the mountain areas in California.
Yeah, because we know our brother-in-law, because he's living with us, he was going to go to Big Bear. And we're like, you better not. And we checked the roads. All the roads into Big Bear got closed because of the conditions. And I was like, and that's a mountain. So like if you fall off, bye-bye, so
I forgot where it was. I was watching videos of people trying to drive in the snow that aren't used to it, and somebody's going down a hill sideways, and you hear the lady recording it out her window. That's not how I'd want to go down that hill.
Nope. So, but we were fine here. All of our rain just happened at night, and it wasn't even enough to flood us or anything. Plus, where I live, there's like a bunch. It's super hilly, so there's no way it floods over here. But
we get over in Minnesota, which is just not that far from where I am in Illinois. They had 18 inches of snow. We got an ice storm here, so I had almost a half inch of ice. But it warmed up the next day, so it melted off pretty quick. But it caused power outages. My power kept going off because tree branches were falling.
Our power went out in the middle of the night, and I didn't notice it until the next day when I went to go get coffee, and the microwave is saying one thing, but the coffee maker is saying the other, and I'm like, what the hell? And then my coffee maker, all the settings were off, and I'm like, huh? Then I checked my email, and there was an email from SDG&E like, the power outage has been restored. I'm like, I was dead to the world.
Here, we got the ice storm, and then we got the high wind, so that was like knocking trees over and branches off and stuff. But it warmed up. Like my power, it never went off and stayed off. It'd go off, and a couple of minutes later, it'd come back on.
Back on.
I was fortunate that I didn't lose it completely.
Yeah. It was really windy here, though. I'll tell you that, because when at night we could hear, because all of our storms happened at night for some reason, is when they got here. I mean, it would rain and shower during the day, but not as bad as at nighttime. And we could hear the wind coming from the east, where the mountain ranges back there. And it was howling. I was like, dude, it sounds like a bunch of ghosts. Woo! Because of the wind. I was like, that's so cool.
I was on Skype doing a reading with one of my regular clients, and lost power. And I was texting her, hang on, my power just went out. It'll probably come back in a second. But I was like, I'm so sorry. I should have begun the reading by warning you. We're getting an ice storm here.
Yeah, I'm for sure gonna miss the winter. Not that we get much of a winter here, anyways. But
it was 48 degrees here today. Lucy went for a quick little walk around the backyard.
Yeah, it's like the sun's out today. I'm like, what the hell is this? Oh, there's Mr. Johnny.
Did he wake
Hi,
up?
my dear. You're naked again. What the hell? You're naked.
He got too hot laughing last week, so he's got to dress a little lighter.
He had to shave. It's like I like scruffy men. So when I see Johnny, I know you hate it, Johnny. It's itchy. Peanut does the same thing. He's like, it fucking itches, and I'm like, stop. So
and then I was picking it in my face. I'm like, what is this? No, that's the white hairs coming back in. That's what that is.
I bought Peanut. I buy Peanut beard oil because Peanut is very baby. So when he shaves, he looks like a little kid. So I always tell him to grow out his beard, and he's always sitting there like, and I'm like, put the beard oil on. Yes, J-Lo, scruffy is hot. A scruffy man is hot.
It's itchy.
It's itchy. Have you tried beard oil?
I don't have. It's coarse, so it's not. It's not. No, because if I put anything in it, it sits on my face all day. Because it doesn't really absorb. It's just, I just hate it. Whatever.
Well, don't worry, Johnny. I'm getting in my age now to where I'm starting to grow chin hair and I'll have a goatee. I was like plucking my eyebrows, and I'm like, and I look, and there's like 12 freaking, they're like that big. I was like, holy hell.
Got your ZZ top going on.
Yep. I can't tell you the last time I had my lip done. It was before COVID. And Peanut was just telling me the other day, he's like, you need to take care of that. You look like, what is his name? The guy from the 70s show, Burt Reynolds. He's like, you look like, is it Burt Reynolds? Because my hair is so dark. He's like, you want me to shave that for you? I was like, no. So how are you, Johnny? Any announcements, sir?
I announced your tarot class starts Friday night, but I don't know what time. I've forgotten.
It is 5 p.m. Pacific time. and we start Friday.
So that's 8 Eastern for you East Coasters.
And I've sent out all the emails and stuff to everybody. So if you didn't get one, let me know. You have until then to pay for it, so no rush. And that's it. And it's 6 weeks, and same class that happens on Friday happens on Saturday. So if you can't make the Friday class, you can make the Saturday class. If you can't make either one, it will be recorded. So I'll send it to you anyway. So there's that.
Mm-hmm. Have fun with everybody that's taking Johnny's tarot class.
It'll be fun. Informative. I don't know about fun, but informative.
Yeah. So that'll be fun. So anything else before we get into the petty?
I'm gonna try to do some. I'm gonna do some more collabs. So I'm gonna go back into the collab world, but I'm gonna do some on my channel. I just don't know on what. I don't want to do politics because we do that every Sunday. And so
you get training. It really does. It's just like it's almost like doom scrolling.
Yeah.
So for stuff to read on Sundays, like.
And that's kind of how it feels. Yes, the Saturday class is the same time as the Friday class.
Thank you, Mara.
And so, no other announcements other than that. I just went walking through the snow, so that was fun.
You guys got snow up there?
Oh, yes.
I got lots
I
of
wish you would have sent me pictures because I was telling Jenny earlier, everybody was texting me to make sure I was alive, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? I'm over here like in the sunshine, like, huh?
I miscalculated how long it would take me to baby step from the store to all the way back to the house, so that's why I'm late. Because we went to the store at 3:54, and it took me an hour to get to the store.
Was it in the snow? In the snow?
Snow and ice.
Because it's all over the sidewalk, and so I walk, of course, and so
stay
too old to fall.
A little bit away from the road for those crazy drivers that don't know how to drive in snow.
What did you get at the store? Now I got to be nosy because I'm hungry.
I think somebody went a little crazy on potato chips, and so that's mainly what I got. I got that and croissants and steak and nothing healthy. So
you get croissants that were already made, or croissants?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because I want to make sandwiches with those, and so yeah, that's what I got.
I was wanting croissants, but then I was like, I'm too lazy to go to the store, and it's like the store is less than a mile away, and I was like, yeah, no.
Me too, because I didn't want to bundle up and put the coat and the gloves and the this and the that, but it's supposed to snow again today and tomorrow, so I'm like, if I don't go now, then you're not going to go at all.
Yeah.
So here we go.
It's good to have some things you don't have to cook in case your power goes out.
Yeah. So hopefully in the after show, I'll get a food haul from Johnny, so I can sit here with my fat ass going, "Oh, I want to eat that, and I want to eat that," because that's what we always do. So, alrighty. So
I got a petty question to start with.
Yes, please.
That I just remembered. Kyle Rittenhouse, poor little pubescent GOP.
I had him in my questions.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. What's your question?
Well, he's going broke. He can't afford his lawyers. He's got lawsuits all over the place, civil cases and stuff. I want to know, is he going to have to use a public defender?
Okay.
And why aren't some of his GOP buddies that wanted to hire him as an aide? Why aren't they giving him some money?
Yes, where's all the
photo op is over? They just the photo op is over.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to join an escort service like Boebert did.
Or call what's his face over there that just lost the election and is no longer in Congress. That boy over there, what was his name? In the wheelchair.
Oh, Hawthorne.
Hawthorne, yeah. Go hook up with Hawthorne. You guys can make porn videos together. I heard it's good pay. So will Kyle Rittenhouse...
Ooh, it's got a 50-50. He's like, he doesn't have the money. Well, you have to have a public defender. Oh, his life is just trash now.
Yeah, Prairie, there was a report months ago that they found Bimbo Bobert's old pictures from when she was an escort. Not that there's anything wrong with being a sex worker. You go do you, boo.
We've had big giggle fests on that very subject in readings last year. If you go look at when the news broke about it, that Sunday night was the giggle fest after the news broke. The only pinnacle card I have is that he's destitute and broke. His life has changed. I don't get anybody giving him money to help. His image is just, nobody wants to defend him. He's got no money coming in. It's support, prayers and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's all he's getting. I think timing of when his cases come up, I get a yes card. He may have to have a public defender work for him.
I don't know. What I can say is there is some money coming to him pretty soon. At the Six of Pentacles, the Two of Wands. So someone is planning to give you some money. The problem is you can give me money to hire a lawyer. Can you give me enough money to retain this lawyer? Lawyers are not like one-time fees. There's things that they do and they bill you and all these different types of things, especially in your case. So your word of warning is the Nine of Pentacles. You have no security. Your word of solace, there is no solace because you get the Nine of Wands. This is going to be a very, very long road to hoe. I don't see any security as far as lawyers go. Like not.
Will he need a public defender? I'm going to be petty as shit. I got the snake, the dog, the bouquet. No, he's got someone that is a freaking liar that lied to gain trust and gifts. So I'm going to say George Santos will be his. I see JLo in the comments saying that he's already raised $100,000.
It's got some money coming.
Drop in the bucket for what he needs.
So here's my next question. I want to look at the outcome of the lawsuits that he's getting.
Is it one?
I think it's a few. I know one is one of the guys that he shot that lived. I think another one is the parents of the guy that he killed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many there are total though.
He's got several, from what I understand. Nostalgia for the good old days. We're going to see him cry on the stand again. I get there's one case he'll be celebrating, but then right after that, something new comes up that's not going to go his way, where he gets kind of blocked from getting his point across. He's going to waffle, is the word I'm hearing. He's going to waffle. He's going to get real emotional on the stand. We'll all see it. But I also get that he's he's going to end up having to pay out a lot. A lot.
So I asked, what are the outcomes of the cases? First card I got was defeat. 5 of Swords and 2 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, and the Ace of Swords. So he celebrates one of them. He has some sort of victory with one case here. But the Fool and the Justice, something else starts and it goes in a very bad direction. So defeat. He has some sort of, maybe even a technical victory. I don't know. But there's some sort of victory for him there. But the rest is loss.
I had the 10 of Swords on the bottom. I forgot to hold up. That's defeat.
I get the Mountain, Book, Garden, Writer, Bouquet. There might be something that was previously not disclosed, perhaps comes out in some sort of a discovery thing, because it's Mountain, Book. There's a civil case that he's going to have to award. One of them may be blocked, but it's like there was some sort of obstacle or a blockage to something that had to have been known. That was, so I don't know if it's something that comes out in discovery in this civil suit, because it's like there was a problem there from getting, in the previous trial, there was a blockage into getting into something that should have been known, if that makes sense. So there's that.
Thank
So
you, Jillian.
Thank you. So now that we got that piece of shit out of the way, okay. Monostat Gangrene has been parading the networks promoting a national divorce, which has been hilarious to watch. Even she even got pushback from Fox News, from Laura Ingraham, I think Sean Hannity.
Even Matt Gaetz went on Fox and said, yeah, no, this isn't right.
I mean, did she forget she's in a blue state?
Completely.
And also, by the way, did she also forget to calculate that all of the red states are the biggest welfare queens in the entire union? So you want a divorce? Fine by me. I would be happy to stop paying taxes for the stupid red states. You know, like, you guys will go bankrupt in a week, you know, but
I'm surprised the governor, Brian Kemp, hasn't come out and said something against her yet.
It's ridiculous. So there's a few questions I have on that, because she has been the spokesperson carrying the flag for national divorce, and she's all over the place, not just Fox News, but all the other extreme right shows. She's also been with that Charlie Kirk guy, or whatever his name is, talking about what a fantastic idea it is for a national divorce, and then banning Democrats from voting for 5 years. Fine by me. We'll just ban the fucking Republicans here in the blue states. I mean, like, two can play that game, but it doesn't require thinking, you know? So I want to know, first off, what does Kevin McCarthy think? Because he gave her the bullhorn. He gave her power, and now she's over there making an ass of herself. What does Kevin McCarthy think of this stunt?
What is national divorce? Where have I been? What is happening?
Oh,
from the union.
Well, here's the thing, Johnny. You weren't around the first time it happened because it was during the Civil War. So we weren't even born yet.
And it's actually, treason and sedition if you do it now. Hello.
Yeah.
Because here's always been my thought process. If you are Georgia and you secede from the United States, what are you then? You're your own country?
Yes.
And then if you're your own country, your military belongs to the United States.
Yep.
Your currency belongs to the United States.
Yep.
So now you have no military and no money to defend yourself. What are you going to do?
By the way, when the next natural disaster comes, you got no FEMA, bitch.
Not to mention all your citizens are technically United States citizens. So who stays and who goes?
And all your food that you got to import now into your state, there's going to be all kinds of duties and tariffs on it.
Just from Tennessee. and Alabama.
Because in their mind, they're just going to get rid of the blacks. They're going to get rid of the gays. They're going to ban all the books. They're going to install Jesus, separate from the union, and they're going to live in euphoria.
And then what about all of the businesses that are there that now have to move because now they're in a different country?
They would be in a developing country, in a third world country.
Tennessee just passed a law banning drag shows. So if you live in Tennessee and you got gay friends, go support them in drag shows.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of gays. I know in Knoxville, where I'm from originally, there's a lot of gays in Knoxville and a lot of drag shows.
So, I mean, it's just the most ridiculous, stupid idea that just falls apart just thinking about it. But she over there with the bullhorn on every show she can get talking about a national divorce and banning Democrats from voting. She's calling it a cool-off period. So if a Democrat moves from California to Georgia or Alabama, they get a 5-year cool-off period where they can't vote.
Right. So what do they think is going to happen in the U.S.? Anybody coming from one of those states, we're going to block you from voting for 5 years too. It's so ridiculous. Fascism 101.
I mean, secede and the very next second, the United States invades you and now you're part of us again. So
yeah, not allowing Democrats to vote. Okay, well then you don't have to worry about gerrymandering because you're just block Democrats.
Okay, she's a senator, right? Or
no, she's a
House representative, right?
Yeah.
That job is gone because who are you representing? You're not part of the United States government. Now your governor means nothing.
Johnny, you're talking too much reason, Johnny. That's logic. Okay, stop using your head.
What is? I mean, just think past point one. Like, just okay.
Like I said, she didn't think this through at all. So, what did Kevin McCarthy think of her? I'm telling you,
she's going to be president of her little red state.
I'm going to start calling her the brainless wonder, dude, because that girl, she's got like a third of a brain cell that's functioning, and that thing's on life support at this point. Like,
hey, Linda Bishop, you were our rivals when I was in high school. Farragut Admirals. I was a Beard and Bulldog. Somebody from Knoxville, Tennessee in the chat. I had to comment too.
What does Kevin McCarthy think? I don't think it's telling me because there is something about a group or committee within Republicans that two people here, a man and a woman, are about to start. It's a front. Not to be conspiratorial, there is a front to the secession thing. The Six of Swords and the moon. The moon always tells you to look deeper than the surface. There's something different. There's something deeper. There's something else to this. This is more than likely, with the Empress being here, because the Empress is new, bringing the plan into the 3D. There's more than likely trying to rile up the base for something else. Because no, you're not going to secede. Everybody knows that. Even your red hats should know that. They probably don't, but
no.
there's something under the surface. This is a show. This is a carnival act, if you will.
Yeah, it's completely something sneaky. It's a strategy thing. She's just trying to get a lot of attention, and the details. He's like, the details are not worked out on this. She's just being smug and trying to be a mouthpiece. It's her, trying to drum up, I think, donations, trying to show strength. It's not going to work. Those are fighting words. You're going to have to give up on that. So I get Kevin may start to distance himself from her a little bit, not accepting what she has to offer. Too late, Kevin. You signed her up. You put her on the...
Y'all over there in the broom closet doing the nasty.
She owns him.
Scandalo. Okay, so
I got the purposes only YouTube.
I got the crossroads, the tree, the man, the whip, and the ship. He sees this. He thinks that this is growing partisanship, but he's criticizing her. He is criticizing. It's man, whip, and ship. He's criticizing and like perhaps will start distancing himself. Yeah.
She has gone full-blown nuts.
I mean, And if you're going to sit there and try to look smart, here's an idea. Read the Constitution, girlfriend.
Read anything. Read Garfield at least. I mean, read something.
When Matt Gaetz thinks you're crazy, come on. The guy who was showing off his dates, nude pictures on the House floor, when he thinks you're nuts, take a good look at yourself, please.
Yeah. So my next question is, what do the other GOP in the House think of the clown show? Because in my mind, I know that these people live in a bubble, but like, if this is now your spokesperson for the GOP, you can't be looking at the next midterm going, oh yeah, we got this.
Especially when you barely got this one.
Uh-huh.
And there's a few like Gosar and stuff that are backing her up. You know, it's like, all right, if you want twitchy and
but like for
Gorilla
all the
Girl over there running your states for you,
for all the reasons that Johnny pointed out, that I pointed out, anybody that is on board with that idea, by all means, go ahead. Once you get your euphoria of this Christian nation, and you're broke as shit, and you're sick, and everything around you is polluted, and you can't drink your water, and the fucking train derailed because you deregulated all sorts of shit, don't come crying to the rest of the union. Y'all want it out.
And that's the sad part about that, is that whole jihad mindset, to where she's going to tell you to go suffer in Georgia, which is now a separate country. Meanwhile, her money belongs to the U.S. She lives somewhere else.
Yeah.
She's not going to struggle with the rest of you. Just like Donald Trump is sitting in his penthouse and somebody else sitting in jail.
Yeah. Preach it, Johnny. Preach
penthouse and penitentiary. That doesn't mean just.
Yeah, they see her as very erratic. The other Republicans, you know, it's like I get they're working with the donors to try to figure out how to get her out, how to block her. You know, here's the Republicans like trying to look at her a different way of getting her out of there. All of her details, you know, are flawed, and they want her to go away. You got nobody, boo-boo, nobody on your side. I'm going to invest in stock in Monistat 7, though.
But Jenny, just like she was telling people not to take the vaccine, and she was buying stocks.
Sorry, Johnny, I forgot. You can't hear that.
I'm so immature.
That's why it's funny.
Oh, Lord. I mean, if anybody could be named after crotch cream, it's that one. So
I tell you, my ribs still hurt from last week, so I gotta watch it.
What do they think about her as a whole? They are about to take an action. This is not. It's not monumentous. Is just one of those things to where this is where you start. So maybe they're planting the seed, because the Wheel of Fortune is a thing that happens in time. So this is going to have a cycle to it. So this is not something that happens tomorrow, but the Knight of Wands and the Ace of Wands, someone is creating something to take charge of this situation. Why? Because she is over emotional and she is erratic. And so it's not something that they really want to deal with. Why? Because it spotlights the crazy with his son and the Ten of Pentacles. Remember, Republicans have always been MTG and Donald Trump, but they were quiet MTGs and Donald Trump. So that's why you had exposés and all these type of things. Now it's on Twitter. All you got to do is log in and log on and see it. So they don't really care for that right now, because she's got way too much emotion poured into every stupid thing she could possibly say. This is what happens when you don't have an edit button. You just spew it out.
I get the storks, the letter, the rider, the clover, and cross. What do they think? They think she's going to fuck up their chances of winning. The storks and letter, improving results, rider, clover, delivering a win, is burdened and sacrificed, extremely difficult. She thinks that she's going to make it She's making it very difficult to get a good message out that they can be trusted to win.
Yeah, but they're not going to do anything to get rid of her. I mean, they didn't even impeach Trump for starting an insurrection. So why would they get rid of her for wanting to secede from the Union?
No. No, half of them voted to not certify the election last time. I'm just saying. So let me see. Okay, so we did the Marjorie Monistat person. Okay. George Santos, Anthony DeVolder, the guy who helped Jesus carry the cross. This one's on Jules for saying that.
The guy at the crucifixion.
Yeah, he was at the crucifixion helping Jesus carry the cross.
I got demonetized for that whole string too.
Really? Why did you get demonetized? Because you said Jesus.
I said the R word in there too, so that might have happened.
But looks like he doesn't have any friends, and nobody will
except
hang
the
out.
ones he lies about.
So he's teamed up with Bimbo Bobert, the ex-escort, to push a bill to make the AR-15 the national gun of America. Which we know
As
is not.
opposed to what? A squirt gun or a Nerf ball gun? What is there a national gun?
No.
There isn't a national gun.
No.
There's there's state birds and
birds and flowers and
trees.
Yeah, no, they want the AR-15 to be the national gun, so they put forth a bill. Not that
I mean, it already is. It's the deadliest thing in America.
Mm-hmm.
And how we look to other countries is just it makes you want to hang your head in shame sometimes. But it's like they're the minority. The problem is they're highlighted on TV, and then that TV goes worldwide, and then you look at the news and think that's what America looks like. No.
It's a fucking shit show, Johnny.
Goodness gracious.
It's like America took a bunch of drugs and we're stuck in a nightmare we can't wake up from with these drugs. But what I want to know, because we know that bill's not going to go anywhere. What does the GOP think of this stunt? The GOP in office.
All they can do with these stunts instead of working on the debt limit and stuff. So all they are, just one stunt after another.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and now they're going after Legos. That's the new. Oh
yeah, Legos is too woke. Legos is too woke.
Legos, Johnny. Legos.
How's it woke? They got transgender Legos now?
I guess so. And when they say woke, be mindful that what they really mean is black.
Yeah.
Black, Hispanic, something besides a white.
Something other than white conservative male. Legos are woke.
Yeah, okay. that's the new cultural manufactured culture war outrage. Is Legos.
It's a Lego. At the very most, it's a dangerous thing to leave laying around in your carpet. But other than that,
yeah, in case your kid gets it. Mm-hmm. It's beyond ridiculous.
I stepped on one before. I don't really care for Legos, but
now they have those cool ones that make like 3D things. You can make vases and flowers and all sorts of stuff instead of the little square ones we grew up with, Johnny.
I guess, since they don't have white go-go boots on like the M&Ms, they got all mad when M&Ms got woke and took away the...
I laughed way too hard at that picture. Okay. So what do they think of the stunt? Actually, it is not well received, actually. I get the Chariot card. There are opposite sides to this. And something about the stay on message is what I keep hearing. It's like we need to stay on message, even if the message is go after Biden or something like that. This is just not. Stay on message, especially since the sad reality of the United States is we have had a jillion mass shootings and it's only February.
Yeah.
We're not at December yet. And so stay on message. This is not a good thing to go parading, especially when we have more to come. The Knight of Cups, it sounds good to some people, but the devil, it's not good for anybody, especially our image. And so it's not a good thing. 4 of Swords, 7 of Swords. This is not a good thing. Retreat from this little sneaky thing you're trying to do. Get out of this, get out of this, get out of this. Bad message.
Yeah. It's like this is a legacy of the Republican Party, to burden everybody and to up is down, down is up. Look at everything differently. It's all their perspective. And I get, they're getting money to come in and change the laws. They're getting money to try to change gun laws and stuff. This is what they do. It's just, they're gonna probably pass this in the House. Won't pass Senate, but they'll probably pass it in the House, and everybody's going to be asking questions and getting all emotional about it. It's another stunt.
I get that they're worried that it's going to eat away at how they're viewed, their reputations, but they'll gladly go along with it, though.
Too late.
These people, I can't. Okay, hold on. So another lie from George Santos. It's just being reported now. Oh, Johnny, when you read on George Santos, you said something about he was scamming something about kids.
Yes, I couldn't figure out what though.
It just came. I just found out what it is today. He made up he gave himself credit for working on a charity that helped children. I think it was EB, some extremely rare disease that affects the skin somehow. And he was campaigning on, well, that was one of his campaign things or whatever, that he said that they helped raise money, and all of the organizations that are charitable organizations were like, yeah, no, we've never heard of George Santos, Anthony DeVolder, nothing. So that just came out today. But in other news, it was just being reported today by the Washington Post that they found record of George Santos lying to a judge in 2017, saying that he did work for Goldman Sachs. So he lied to a judge's face. No, I worked at Goldman Sachs. Why that judge didn't think to go check out his credentials or make a couple of phone calls, I don't know if that's outside of their wheelhouse, but he lied to a judge in a courtroom. So is he going to have any legal problems? Yeah. For lying to a judge.
Okay, I see. Legos is gone woke because some of the new Legos have disabilities.
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
That's what it is.
Are you
Like
kidding me
right now? Some of them are disabled.
So is this I'm at this point, fuck it. They're going full Nazi, dude. Because didn't Hitler have a thing about exterminating people with disabilities?
I am glad to be woke and realize I can learn from the past and do better. I'm glad to be woke. They make it sound like it's such a sin because they're
trying to turn
regressive
that into a
instead of
bad word.
progressive.
As if people with disabilities don't exist. As if we don't have amputees or people that were born with,
because I think they were saying that in Fox News, they were talking about amputees because some of the Legos don't have certain limbs, and it's, on purpose. Not that it's a defect, they were disabled, and then Down syndrome. And so that's what was being highlighted on Fox, apparently.
Unbelievable.
Is he going to get in trouble? There is, oh Lord, okay. You want one card? Yes, there's a lot of greed here, and this because it's going deeper again. There's the moon. This is like tip of the iceberg. The tip of the iceberg sunk the Titanic. It doesn't, like, if you drop the whole thing on his life, he would just, I mean, yes, to answer the question. Everything says yes. I got the Tower, Three of Swords, Knight of Swords, the Devil. Is just yes. Pick anyone you want. Yes, there's a lot to be. Yes.
You got to give it to him, though, man. That guy's got some balls to go up to a judge and be like, "Yep,
up under that short mini skirt, red sequin mini dress."
These are the kind of people that usually hide from the public eye, not run for office. But go ahead, got that Donald Trump plan. This is how you get caught.
He is so much like Trump. Something's coming in quick and fast on him. So I think there's going to be 4 things that come up. That's crowding the reading. There's a lot of evidence coming up, things that he did, and a lot of details coming out. He's definitely having to lawyer up here, but something else is coming out about somebody he worked with also. Somebody he was like working or claimed he worked with and shared office space with, that kind of thing. That's not going to do him any favors. So there's more that's going to come out about where his money's come from. I also get something about somebody he partied with on a trip coming up. That could be really interesting.
I get the fox, the stars, and the scythe. There's a couple of ways to interpret this. Investigations that are widespread and vast, that are very, very dangerous. In the context of work, reading the fox as work. There's a lot of problems and a lot of danger that comes from his success at a job that wasn't there with Fox and Scythe. Work cut off, but the success sitting in the middle. But the central card is the stars, so it's very vast and widespread. So, like Johnny was saying, this is how you get caught, dumbass. This is
go run for office.
Oh my god. Okay, so
hide in plain sight.
I'm telling you. Okay, so if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna jump into. Okay, so here's the thing. Do you guys want to read on DeSatan or Jack Smith first?
Meatball Run. That's Trump's new nickname for him, Meatball Run.
For DeSatan?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's making fun of his Italian heritage. So Meatball Run.
So I saw, forget where it was. I think it was Midas Touch. That not George Santos, DeSatan is asking on the recent paperwork that he filed to the state requesting more funds for legal fees, because currently I guess he's up to 17 lawsuits against him for all the bullshit, forcing girls to female athletes to report when they're menstruating, banning the books, banning advanced Black history in schools and stuff like. He's got like.
Did you see the student walkouts last week? Massive. The kids are protesting. If the kids are protesting, their parents are protesting too.
Here's the thing. That son of a bitch. You know what book he banned? The Diary of Anne Frank. But yet it's okay to teach all these other books about Hitler. And I don't even know. I don't think at that level they teach what is it? Name Kampf. I think that's more at university level, but it's like, who in their right mind would ban the Diary of Anne Frank? This was a white girl.
To Kill a Mockingbird and classics he's banned. So
math books, Jenny, math books. Why? Because you want to make 2 + 2 equal 35.
They want to keep everybody stupid.
So he's been asking the state to give him more money for legal stuff because he's just getting plummeted with lawsuits. Which, by the way, the morons in Florida that keep voting for him because they think that's a genius idea, that's your taxpayer dollars, you morons.
Yeah, but it's so gerrymandered. I mean, so there are a lot of Democrats and other people that are banding together and suing the crap out of him and different agencies. It's like, go people.
So I want to know how are the lawsuits going to turn out for DeSantis? The outcome. I mean, that's a lot. That's 17 that they've counted to date. Civil lawsuits against him.
Most of them, I think, will get wrapped up pretty quickly. They'll come to an end because they're not based on law, and he knows it. Like, he's nervous about it because he knows this. He knows what he's done is not based on law. It's all just
this whole thing with making female athletes report their menstrual cycles is like, I don't see how any judge would hold that up because those people sitting on that board are not fucking doctors and they have no right to know when you're on your period.
He's going to lose most of them. It's just gaslighting. It's just, stupid. He's costing taxpayer money for trying to sound like he's unwoke.
There is some isolation is how it starts. But there is something here because there's a burden around it. So it's almost like because the word of morning is the King of Cups. So those that you are looking to for support are actively isolating you. So it's almost as if someone may be trying to put your back against the wall and make you relent on something because there's a huge, huge, huge change coming. And the Six of Swords, like some tail between the legs behavior here. With the Strength card, someone is taming you. And I don't think you're going to get the support from the outside that you thought you were. This was not a very good decision with the Fool card here. So I didn't get the lawsuits, how they were going to work out, but whoever is supposed to be or whoever you thought was supporting you is not. And in fact, I think you're about to be tamed on something because there's some secrets and things that everything that you are doing is not just you. There's other people, just like the Donald Trump sphere. He didn't go down. I did. And then this person did. And then that person did. So they don't want this DeSantis Trump ×2 over here to where you're fine. Like Chris Christie, he's fine. But everybody else went down for Bridgegate. No. So you need to help me keep my secrets and stop some of this foolishness.
What's interesting that you say that, Johnny, is that a lot of the red states are looking at him and they're trying to adopt the same thing. So he's inspiring other red states to be.
He's testing the waters for pushing to get rid of public schools, to have the charter schools, which is monetized. And, your average Joe Smo can't pay to send their kids to private school or charter school. And plus the education level in those are crap.
Fun fact that just came out about charter schools too. Where is her face? The one that would used to be, no, the one that used to be in the Trump administration. She was the press secretary that looked constipated. What was her name? Hucka Sanders. Hucka Sanders just won the governorship in what state was that? Arkansas.
Arizona. Or Arkansas.
Yeah, she just had this brilliant plan about charter schools, this, that, and the other thing. Well, reporters did a little bit of digging, and guess what? 10% of that goes to bankers. So those little things those vouchers they give to send your kids to a charter school, which is no different, it's just for profit. 10% of that is going to bankers. Your kids are still getting the same education, if not less. If not
usually less.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of them do Christian indoctrination and all kinds of crap.
Yep. So I get the moon, the book, the bouquet, the fox, and the letter. The outcome is not going to be in his favor. There may be something else where he tries to manipulate the results and spin it a different way, but it does not work. It's not favorable to him, if that makes sense. So continuing on with Death Satan, he's it appears, even though he hasn't officially announced that he's running for president, but he's been on a little tour all over the US. He was just in, where was it, Michigan, talking shit to a bunch of cops about why it's so bad up there and they have all this crime and everything. And the governor that just won up there, I forget the guy's name.
That's a female.
No. Then I have the state wrong because it's a man. He's a Democrat. He's a billionaire, but he's a man. And he held a press conference and he's like, Ron DeSantis wants to come over here to our state and start talking stuff and wants to start promoting his backwards laws. He's like, look at the teachers in Florida. They're ripping books off the shelves because they're afraid to go to jail. He's like, here in our state, we value education. We value diversity. We value, like, he was just going off and off and off. But, Illinois, thank you. So he's been making.
We have a Democratic governor here in Illinois.
He's been on tour, promoting his regressive fascist ideologies to all these other states without announcing that he's running for president. And he just got the endorsement of none other than Jeb Bush, even though he hasn't announced. So will Jeb Bush's endorsement help him? And that's not talking about the little pissing contest he's got going on over there with the orange Mussolini.
Jeb Bush not Jeb Bush. Donald Trump humiliated Jeb Bush when he ran for president.
Yeah, in the debate.
Yep.
That's the person you really want endorsing against Donald Trump.
Jeb Bush. Jeb Bush.
Will it hurt or help? Let's see.
I'm just gonna stop right there. I'm like bad news card on the bottom, and then I'm just like treachery, burdening. It's not good.
I got the 5 of Cups was the first card, so that's like no. there's like a regret and some sadness, some sorrow. The Star of the Temperance, so it gets better. You get better people, but this is way down the line. I think the conservative GOP like DeSantis, but you need the voters to like DeSantis. So we'll see.
But Johnny, can you really call it conservative considering he's pushing fascist ideology?
That's them.
They've been pushing for.
They're going for the anti-Trump, I think.
Okay, you want the same policies without the loudmouth.
Without the yes.
So you're still a freaking Nazi. Okay.
Without the drama.
Yeah, without the drama. Without the yeah, Jenny, perfectly said.
And without the insurrection.
Mm-hmm. We want a more polished fascist. What did you get, Jenny? Did you go?
I got all bad cards. It's like, no, it doesn't help.
Surprisingly, I got the Clover, the Tower, and the Man. It helps, but it's only a little bit because he's seen as someone that's very ambitious. If it's who this man is, if it's Jeb Bush, I don't know. If it's to Satan, I don't know because it's just man. I can't tell you who it is.
Maybe it just helps in Florida because wasn't he a thing for Florida, Jeb Bush?
I think so.
Like a representative or somebody like that for Florida.
So here's a hypothetical question. The conservatives, and I hate to call them that because I don't want to lump every Republican into the mentality that.
But they're all going along with it. They're not speaking.
I mean, there is a small group that, like the people that started the Lincoln Project and all that are completely against the Republican push for this new ideology. So I hate to lump them all together, but for the sake of argument, I'm going to. So I hypothetically, Ron DeSantis, as of right now, is the GOP's wet dream because he's Trump 2.0, just as hateful, smarter, and a bit more polished. And they think that they can capture the rabid crazies with him while still appeasing to the old GOP, which good luck with that. So hypothetically, if he were to announce his his run for presidency or whatever, his candidacy, what will be the overall, what's the word I'm looking for? Favorability, I guess. Like, how is he going to be received by the entire, because people that don't follow politics don't know what the fuck he's doing in Florida.
Maybe a little too extreme for independents, banning books and stuff like that.
Yeah, but like I said, not everybody is very, conscious of what's going on in politics.
Is he Catholic?
I don't know.
That matters to Southern Christian.
Oh, because that's right. They hate
Southern Baptist, yeah.
Even though it's the same God, but I guess.
Yeah. No, Johnny, how dare you? Duh. Our Bible says Jesus hated everybody else. Their Bible says he only hated certain people.
Every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess. So let's see.
How will he be received?
Roll. In a perfect world, he would be received fantastically because he is a person who can follow the script. He is a person you can give a message to, and he delivers that message. And that's the Page of Wands and the Four of Pentacles. If he stays on script, then he's all right. However, it's in a perfect world. In the real world, you have opponents. And then they're going to poke and point out every little thing that all of the red state people don't know about Ron DeSantis. And then they frame it in a ad that makes you sound like a criminal and all of these type of things. And so then you have the isolation, the judgment, and the retreat. And so his favorability, word of warning, is the Nine of Swords. It doesn't grow the way it should for a candidate. What you need right now, because unfortunately, American politics, we every 2 years something's happening, and they run for president for 2 years, or they run for House and Senate for 2 years, and so it ends in the Page of Swords, negative news, negative Nancy. So no favorability. It doesn't grow fast enough. He doesn't have enough momentum.
I would love for him to get his head so far up his own ass and high on his own supply that he decides to go run for presidency so all of America can say, fuck you.
I
That's
guess
just, you know.
I get the wealthy people will vote for him, but the others that he manipulates, like they see who he partners with, they see what he's about, and the others that he manipulates feel left out. So he's going to have a conflict between, you know, the bosses, so to speak, the ones that have the money and stuff like that, versus the people that are disillusioned, dissatisfied, and just trying to make ends meet. He's gonna get questioned about some campaign donations also. That's coming up. There's going to be illumination on campaign donations or something. He's drifting. Surprise, surprise.
I'm telling you, you guys, that's a great way to become a millionaire overnight, is just become a Republican grifter. Because these people have no critical thinking skills at all.
Open a church and run for office.
Yep. Yep. So I get the tree, the child, the key, the scythe, the birds. Growth is small, significant danger, and a lot of gossip about him. A lot of gossip. Another way to read that in regards to something new that was health related that required vaccinations. Something comes out about that. Perhaps his access to the vaccine with a key and scythe. Also something that may be criticized and become dangerous when it comes to child development or the growth of a child with tree and child. That's very significant and dangerous that comes out and is voiced. He's going to be seen as dangerous. And
no,
but please, by all means, go ahead and step among the stage. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Personally, I'd love to see him nominate Herschel Walker for president.
At this point, it's like the only way to get these people off that craziness is to keep rejecting it to where it's no longer profitable or a winning strategy to continue down that road, you know? So let's jump off that for a second. And I got a petty question that I just remembered. Thank you, Joseph. Mm-hmm. So the barking Chihuahua, Jim Jordan tried to pull a political stunt to go down to the border to find the immigrants, like Ted Cruz, you know, over there. That's where we found immigrants. Except he found no immigrants, none at all. So that political stunt fell flat. So
took you behind in Nebraska.
And then Marjorie Green said that 6 billion immigrants have come to the United States. I'm like,
Jim Jordan from Ohio, why wasn't he going to Palestine and helping Trump hand out Trump water?
At McDonald's.
Expired Trump water.
And expired Trump water, and he was handing out MAGA hats in McDonald's. In McDonald's to a bunch of idiots that were all too happy to take the hats.
Why wasn't Jim Jordan with them in his own state?
Who forgot or didn't know that he was the one that deregulated it. And Forbes just put out the freaking article that they published when he deregulated. They're like, oh, by the way, we found this in our archives. We reported about this. He was the one that deregulated the brakes on the trains. And you idiots are over there eating. And then he was bragging about his extensive knowledge of the menu at McDonald's. I'm like, this stupid.
Don Jr. even, I think he sent out a message saying his father has eaten more McDonald's meals than anyone on earth. And I guess that was a praise.
Probably walks through or drives through the drive-through and sits out there and watches the sign change to a billion, however many McDonald's they've sold.
I mean, at this point, dude, give up the hope of running for president and just go run a McDonald's. Go buy your own franchise. Buy your own franchise.
We eat for free.
Mar-a-Lago, put a McDonald's in there. Thank you.
I can't. So how does Jim Jordan feel after his little political stunt went sour? What are you laughing about?
Oh well.
I loved it when Andrew Goldman called him out the other day. He's like, we have all these dozens of FBI whistleblowers, blah, 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 blah. And Goldberg was like, are we going to get the notes on that? He couldn't freaking answer. He couldn't answer because it was all bullshit,
If someone played the cards right, this would be the worst thing he's ever done, but it probably won't because I don't think anybody will drive it home. But here's the fool card because he's from Ohio, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He has priorities, just like cruise in the winter and Cancun type thing. You have priorities. No, you're not the governor, but you represent the state in some capacity or at least a district or two. So you have priorities. Anyway, it's the fool. So he felt foolish because egg on his face. But there's the Temperance and the Queen of Pentacles. Something was going wrong in the country. Temperance is healing after trauma. So something traumatic happened to the land. And then there's the Tower and the Seven of Swords. So this little scheme of yours causes damage that has a ripple effect. The tower doesn't just fall in one place, it falls and scatters because that's what buildings do. And then there's dust and pollution and so forth and so forth. So this has a repercussion on your support with the Queen of Cups. People who were once at your back are now criticizing. But like I said, if somebody would take that criticism and blast it all over TV, this would be a bigger thing. But this has some very, very bad repercussions.
I get so too. Like America sees new evidence of. He's shown a light on evidence that was counteractive to what he's been preaching. So the messaging for him is not going to work. It burdens the crap out of him. He ends up looking like a loser. He's going to try to gaslight, and talk about, oh, I've got so many ideas of how to secure the border, and Biden's sleeping on this. And
I thought they built that wonderful wall.
They have nothing on immigration.
Did the wall go away with Trump? Did we pack it up once Trump left office? We're like, here, take
it was
this.
made of Legos. It's too woke now. They had to let it go.
They had to let the wall go because it was too woke.
None of them have any ideas on immigration that and they won't come to the table,
Jenny.
And talk.
They do. You know what their ideas is?
To stop all immigration.
Separate the families. Give all the contracts to our buddies over here running private, for-profit jails, and let the freaking taxpayers pay for it, and we'll get a kickback.
The Brown families.
The Brown families, yeah.
Because if you were a Russian spy, they'll invite you in the White House.
They'll invite you to dinner.
The Oval Office.
I get the Clover, the Rider, the Birds, Mountain, and Coffin. So an opportunity to deliver a message was blocked and ended. So he's a little bit depressed that he wasn't able to, whatever. And speaking of geniuses, the brainless wonder over there, Marjorie Taylor Greene, in her infinite wisdom, has been out talking about how there's been 8 billion with a B, immigrants that have come illegally to the United States. It's like,
Where are they?
There's only 8 billion people in the world. They're not.
There's
all
only
America.
six. So somehow we have more illegal immigrants in the United States than the entire world population.
That girl needs to go back to school and get an education.
I mean,
there's only
I was just looking
325
up,
million in the U.S. So how could there be 6 billion here immigrants? There's only 325 million in the U.S.
There's not even, there's more people. I think I was just me and my niece were looking up populations. Our population is twice that of Russia, even though their landmass is gigantic. But our population is twice that. It's twice that of Canada. I forgot what it is in Mexico, but I don't think they even have as many people in Mexico as we do here. So even if all of them came, we still wouldn't be at 1 billion people. Not even 1 billion.
No.
Let's send Marjorie.
Maybe 1 billion food trucks, but not 1 billion people.
There you go. To Siberia. Let her survive a winter in Siberia.
Send her to Florida to go to public schools. She either went there for her education or went to Trump University, because that girl is, I mean, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but that girl's dumb.
All right. Petty question.
Yeah.
Who's smarter, Monistat Green or Bobblehead Boebert?
Who's smarter?
Who only got her GED in just a few right before she ran.
And she failed it like 7 times. Or something ridiculous like that. She failed her GED. Which I'm not clowning on anybody who has a GED. Good for you. I'm happy. Mm-hmm. But don't sit there and talk about the Constitution this, the Constitution that, when you failed like 7 times, okay? Like,
you probably have never even sat down and read it, and you probably have really poor reading comprehension. Who's smarter or who's dumber, however you want to ask it. If you were checking their IQs.
As they say, it's a tie. You both lose. There is the judge-justice card, which is 50-50. Scales are balanced. So the 7 of Swords and the Tower. Now, in the Temperance. The question is, who looks the smartest? Who is the smartest? 0. Neither one.
Oh, you know who's the smartest, Johnny? Lauren Boebert, because she wears glasses. So she must be smart.
Because it's the Temperance and the 7. The 7 of Swords is disguises. So who looks the smartest?
Okay, I'm gonna break away from this one. Marjorie Taylor Greene, I get the fish, the bouquet, and the tree. Marjorie Taylor Greene is very solid on how she's able to get funds, like donations. Who's smarter? Surprisingly, for Lauren Boebert, I got the Tower, the book, and the fox. So her education is sus. Okay.
She could be just sly and cunning.
Yeah, but this would be like a school or a library or a university, an institution where there's books to learn and study. It's sus. It's sus. So I'm gonna go with Johnny. They're both idiots.
I get the bully who's good at raising funds. Marjorie, and watching out for money, that she might be a little bit smarter. I get Boebert is not so smart. Unless you want to work in a escort service, and then she knows all about that.
Which there ain't nothing wrong with that, girl. Get your freak on. I'm not clowning you, but don't use your position to punch down on others. Like that's where my issue comes in. But God,
I mean, let me hush.
Go for it, Johnny.
Because it was very rude.
These people.
I'm just saying. I'm gonna say it anyway. If I had an extra $8, I wouldn't hire her. That's all I'm saying. She can't be no more than that.
I wouldn't hire her to walk me to McDonald's.
She can't be no more than that. I mean,
no.
I wouldn't hire her to walk a dog.
No. So back to the idiot at McDonald's. He announced his campaign, but they're not raising any money for his campaign, are they?
Wait, what idiot are we talking about?
The orange one.
Okay.
The orange
The
idiot.
original.
So
I don't know.
he went down there to talk a bunch of shit and this, that, and the other thing. Pete Buttigieg went down there and just smacked all over Trump, which I'm not a fan of Buttigieg, just to put it out there.
Which he should have done.
Which he did. And he was like, oh, by the way, he deregulated it. And oh, by the way, there was how many thousands of derailments under his administration, and not once did Chow Chow come down here or anywhere else to hold.
And by the way, his water business has been bankrupt since 2009, so you might want to look at that expiration date.
He gave them he seriously gave them.
They were, somebody was saying that was not the same water. It was different water, and he just relabeled it. So it wasn't expired. It was water he relabeled, is what they're saying.
So you relabeled it with an expiration date on there?
Well, he relabeled it Trump water. It's like it's fresh water, but it's got a new label on it.
Like he
bought some water and put Trump.
Bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on that one, dude. He gave them expired ass water. Those people are probably going to have to go get a doctor.
13 years ago.
If it's from 13 years ago, that's before they had BPA rules in plastic, so now there's new, so those bottles are deteriorating. They're getting toxins from the BPA in the bottles.
This guy, man. I mean, he's like the gift that keeps on giving, I guess.
Yeah, if he handed you something for free, you better be looking at real.
Oh, hell no. No. Throw that shit away.
And I'm sure he charged it, he's been writing it off at a warehouse for tax refund purposes. I'm sure he charged somebody full price for his bottle of water out of his campaign finances or something.
That he's had for the last, how many years, Jen? That's just
it's a great photo up, poison water. Here, let me hand out some Trump water. Meanwhile, address the issue while you're there. Not that the Biden administration didn't do anything. Yours didn't either, first of all. But address the issue that you're carrying toxics across the country, period. And that this type of thing can happen, and it happened because of you. So
Oh, and here's another lovely thing for the red states. When this sort of shit happens, because you all like to deregulate everything, have fun cleaning it up yourselves.
Yes.
And they're all taking money from the rail companies. They're taking money from the rail companies too. They're all on the taking. Like the poor people asking, like their local reps and stuff, questions and everything, and their reps are like, I'm here to take care of you. Are you taking money from this company? I'm here to take care of you. Like, of course he is. Of course he's taking money from that rail company.
Yep. Because they all lobbied to deregulate everything, and look at the mess they're in now. And all that shit's flowing downstream and affecting a whole bunch of other states.
And Trump was so great at getting an infrastructure bill going.
It was infrastructure week.
To try to help with these, issues like this.
Because it was infrastructure week every day for 4 years. I remember that.
And healthcare week and infrastructure week hand in hand over and over.
Oh my gosh. I can't.
They have no plans.
So with Spanky, the orange Cheeto herpes, whatever you want to call him. Overall, besides the morons that showed up at McDonald's, the cult members that showed up at McDonald's to get a red hat and poisoned water, the majority of people in Ohio, do they recognize, or are they cognitive, or do they understand that the reason that situation happened was because of him?
These are the same people that voted DeWine in as their governor. It's like, congratulations. Effed around and found out.
Go ahead and secede from the union.
You can't even sell your house because that property is worthless now. Nobody wants to live there.
Who wants to live there?
For the next
You're in
30
Chernobyl,
years.
USA. No. Four of Cups, not accepting the reality. Arms are folded, eyes are closed. The Six of Swords and the Nine of Wands, you're accepting the struggle because you have no choice, but you're not accepting the reality, even though you still have no choice. And then the Knight of Cups and the High Priestess. The real message has been hidden by pretty talk, which is just code word for opposite bashing. So Biden this and Biden that, because it happened under his administration. Okay. But at the same time, what did Trump do? And when did he stop doing it? That part they won't admit. So I don't think they know because they won't accept it. They're hearing other stuff.
Oh my God. Trillium Tarot is saying that, laughing my ass off, on eBay, one pre-owned bottle of Trump water is selling for $299.95. Trillium, are you freaking serious right now?
Pre-owned as in he drank out of it and didn't finish it or something type of thing?
Are you serious right now, Trillium? Is that a joke or are you for
Because
serious?
if so, I got a whole bottle of it here if somebody want to buy it for $5,000.
I mean, shit. I'll sell you toilet water right now for that much. Like, this came from the toilet Trump took a shit in.
I get, like, the celebrity Republican, which would be Trump, right? Telling him he would change things and he's there to support them and everything. They have that sense of nostalgia and that bond with him. So I think they're going to keep looking for some kind of tangible evidence from the train companies, like you can trust them. That's not who you're going to get the evidence from. They do realize like some money has changed hands that brought about this situation, but are they going to hold Trump accountable? No.
I get the cross, the garden, and the bouquet. There's the suffering community is happy, but also no. The community where there's a lot of society. So like, I don't know if this would be like city centers or where there's more people, not rural, where there's a large population, because this has to do with society, people, large groups of people. Mm-hmm. They know that their suffering is because of that.
Because it's going to be in the water tables now, and it's going to, the bigger cities further away, anybody living within 50 square miles, 100 square miles of there ought to be sweating it. Because it'll be in the water table, it'll be in the dirt, God help us.
And then what happens
comes from there.
And then what happens? Like it happens every single time there's a disaster, make the taxpayers clean it up.
Sure. Once there's three-legged chickens running around.
And it's all that Republican mindset is so strange to me. This happened, it's a disaster. And every time a Republican gets on TV, the word deregulation comes out of their mouth.
Exactly.
And big government. This is what deregulation looks like. In Oklahoma, when I lived there, we had 3 earthquakes a day, into where we were leading in the country. Oklahoma, flatland. You might have 3 earthquakes a year when I was a kid there. And then they had 3 a day because of the fracking.
Yeah.
That's deregulation, because they can leave the wastewater in the ground instead of taking it out and disposing of it properly. Leave it in the ground shakes. So deregulation, that's what it looks like. And why they don't understand that, I can't.
I don't get it.
You live here too. Like, it ain't like that's the Democrat zone. You live in the same place as these people do. Like,
and that's why I know this sounds horrible for me to say it, but at this point, because of this bullfuckery that's going around, there's a small part of me that's like, go ahead and secede, deregulate everything you want, do everything you want. And when your life is absolute shit and nobody to bail you out, don't come crying because we told you so. Like,
even some of the Fox News people were talking about Trump deregulated this, and we're putting the blame where the blame went. But it's like, it's too late. Y'all have dumbed up your audience so much.
No, there's no going back. there's no going back. And then with all this stuff that's coming out now during the trials for Fox News and stuff, they knew when they pulled out the paperwork the other day with Maria Bartiromo, who had Sidney Powell come on the show, whose source of information was a lady that was going into a subconscious state to time travel.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. That was her source. A lady
so
would
the
go into
on tarot reader from YouTube probably is her source.
You know,
okay.
A time traveling lady was Sidney Powell's source.
Donald Trump's natural spring water bottle unopened, $775.
You're shitting me right now, John.
Item description from seller. I got this at the US Open tennis tournament many years ago. It's been sitting on my shelf ever since, unopened. The sides are sucked in. Check out my pictures. Donald Trump Ice Natural Spring Water, unopened, $775.
Not even autographed. Here, buy this plastic bottle that's deteriorating as we speak.
That he got at the US tennis tournament all them years ago.
How do you know that guy didn't just go and get that water out of his freaking toilet
and put a Trump logo on it?
Oh my God.
Who would, okay, can we ask though, is there a person, not that would he sell it, but is there a person that would buy it?
Okay.
Absolutely. Okay. I don't even have to pull a card. Absolutely, yes.
Anybody that wants a new business venture, go get recycled plastic bottles, get the water out of your toilet, and sell it to a Trump supporter.
Is there a numbnut somewhere that would buy an $800 bottle?
You could sell a piece of metal and say this is a part. This is a part of the Trump wall. If you would like your memorabilia from the Trump wall, here.
Yeah, go to Home Depot and get some chain link fencing. Got it from the wall.
Every school age girl, you put it on eBay. You're selling Donald Trump maxi pants too.
Oh my God.
Is there someone who would leave 4 of Wands and the 9 of Pentacles? Very expensive. This is luxury. This is something that would cost a whole lot of money.
Luxury water.
King of Swords and the Knight of Wands. Yes, there's a person who would collect such things. That's not a collection card, but that's what you would have to do, because I wouldn't think you would drink it. But there, I mean, it's the Fool card. So I mean, not that we really even needed that to show up. So no.
I mean, if somebody put Melania's panties on eBay, somebody'd buy them.
Oh my God.
On that same page, there's photos at the top. Photo of Ivanka, $9.99. Photo. You can go to Google, type the word Ivanka, a picture will come up, print it out for free.
You can't possibly be that dumb, stupid, dude.
$800.
I get the tree, the clouds, and the clover. Yeah, maybe some mentally ill people, but yeah.
You'd
have to be
I've got $800 diapers from Trump. Would you like some of Trump's dumps?
Now, Jenny, that would sell for millions. That would sell for millions. A diaper with Trump's crusty
Trump's dumps.
They probably got a COVID cure in it, knowing them.
With the stain on it from where he sharted, right there, the COVID cure. The COVID cure for a disease that doesn't exist because it's a hoax.
Because they want anything but the vaccine.
Let me go lick the sharded piece of diaper from Trump that I got on.
They ain't dirt and drink pee, so I can't. Just arsenic dirt, why not?
But Johnny, the whole thing doesn't make sense. Like, why are you eating arsenic dirt if you don't believe that the disease exists?
I mean, why are you Republican? That don't make sense to start with.
Oh, speaking of which, I forgot what state it was. I don't know if it was Tennessee or Idaho, or I don't know where. They're trying to ban the COVID vaccine. Did you see that?
Yeah, I've seen that.
They're trying to ban the COVID
There's so much
vaccine.
misinformation out there now about it causes this and it causes this, and it's like all disinformation.
Because now they got all the shaking videos out there, and
we read on that a couple of weeks ago of some of these companies would start filing civil lawsuits against these people, because a lot of them are, some of them are just making it to just misinform the public because they're anti-vaxxers, but some of them are grifting people and putting GoFundMe's and stuff to raise money for shit that they're making up.
if you don't believe in the vaccine, then why not just not take it? Why do you have to go on this war path to make sure that everybody else knows your lie too? Just don't take it.
Just don't take it if you don't want to.
Why do you got to make something up? Like that's a whole
Why you
different
gotta
type
lie?
of Fox News-ish type of thing.
I just don't understand the desire to be so regressive. Like, you do realize that if you guys want to go live in I don't know, Middle Ages, people didn't have medical advances. Like, their idea of fixing you was sticking a leash on you and hope and pray to Jesus that you survived. Guess what? The majority didn't. So, like, it's like they reject science.
They regress back to everything.
Yeah. Everything.
Gonna take it back to survival of the fittest. And let me tell you, some of these way overweight white people ain't gonna make it for you, Republicans.
Nope. And isn't it funny? Like, I was saying that one time that the vaccines are only affecting white conservatives. Everybody else is fine. It's only the white conservatives.
They're the only ones shaking on video.
I can't. It's scary to me, because it's like, how can you, like, you're hurting everybody, not just.
Roro's down here redecorating my Christmas tree. I've got ornaments all over the floor now.
She's trying to take it down for you.
She's undecorating the bottom.
Oh my God. So,
Mm-hmm.
okay, got half an hour. All right. We'll do one more and then we'll jump into the Jack Smith stuff, because I find that fascinating. Katie Hobbs, the lady that defeated what's her face, Carrie Lake or whatever in Arizona, she has referred the former GOP Attorney General Bronovich or whatever to the Arizona bar to have him disbarred, because he held some sort of an investigation into voter fraud, but he falsified the findings on election fraud. He spent $10,000 and found no fraud, nothing. And then when he found nothing, he hid it from the public because he was pushing the big lie. So will he be disbarred?
Thank you, Karen, for repeating the questions for us in chat.
Oh, Lori's in the chat. Hi, Lori.
A good yes. There's evidence coming from different directions too.
Yeah, he covered this up pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, he's stupid, shifting votes around, hiding things, covering it up, treachery. Legally, yes, they're going to take away his license here. I get all my yes cards. He's out in the cold from his license. He's in trouble.
Oh my gosh. I'm seeing Phyllis's comment here. It says she's a massage therapist. People have called her job asking for an unvaccinated therapist because they don't want any of her shedding.
Well, it's like the ones that don't want children that identify as cat either. Tell them you identify as cat.
I cannot believe it.
Using litter boxes in the schools. They are so dumb.
I get them. I had to pull more than 3. I got the mountain, the letter, and the crossroads, meaning he blocked and delayed the results of the election. There was something there where he blocked and delayed, and there may have been more than one result, multiple results. But will he be disbarred? Yes. So, okay, before we jump on to Jack Smith, since we got 20 minutes, can we do a quick read on Georgia and Donald Trump? Because it's like at this point, it's imminent that charges will be coming. And
yeah, he's got this new billionaire lawyer he hired in Atlanta who he doesn't like Trump, but he's pro freedom of speech, and he's represented a lot of rappers successfully. So he's going to push for the freedom of speech, that Trump could say anything he wanted, that's not considered, tampering with an election and stuff. So
what's the question then?
The lawyer's name is Drew Feinling. So yeah, how will Drew Feinling do for Trump? Will he be successful at defending Trump? Or is he going to lose a big case and a lot of reputation? You're in the wrong business when you have all these billionaire lawyers around.
How much did he pay this lawyer?
I get a whole lot.
Well, here goes your first loss, buddy, because I get a fuck no. I get the stars, the garden, and the scythe. Something that is very famous or successful, and then the society, the network of people, and then no. With it ending in that scythe, this is. And I asked, will he be successful in defending Trump in Georgia? That is a no. No.
Somebody's going to flip on Trump. So, like one of the other people they're going to be like, okay, we'll make a deal with you if you tell us more about what Trump said to you, kind of thing. There's steady evidence is what I'm getting. So, going in after him and trying to defend him. Somebody is going to partner with the courts is what I'm getting. The judgment does not go well. And then they have that recorded phone call, which just destroys his reputation. He's not going to win this one. He won't.
What did you get, Johnny? Because that face is concerning.
I don't get he stays at all.
You don't get that he stays?
Mm-mm.
That lawyer?
No. I get the Queen of Swords and then the Eight of Cups. That's my lawyer card. And then the Eight of Cups. There's your walking
walks away.
Like he can't.
I clarified. I said, what does he walk away from? Because it could be like abandoned old strategy or whatever. Because it's a difference between a rapper and Donald Trump.
Oh, yeah.
Election. So I'm like, what does he abandon? Eight of Pentacles, the job. And so I'm like, okay, that's interesting. But he got paid a whole bunch of money, though. The Emperor, the Nine of Pentacles, and then the agreement with the Two of Cups. He got a whole heap of money from this dude, though, but I don't think he stays. The final card is the Seven of Cups. Does he win this? No.
And I think once he starts defending him, he's going to have to look over the files and see what they have and this, that. And I'm sure I am sure I didn't see the lady that has been doing the interviews. We heard one recorded phone call. One. I guarantee that there's a shit ton more. And I guarantee that Rudy Giuliani was butt dialing people and asking for favors and all this other stuff. Like, so I'm sure when he sees that, he's like, I can't defend that shit, man. They got like, I can't defend freedom of speech when you're asking them to overturn an election. Like, but that would be hilarious if he took the money up front and then just peace out. Like, you just got grifted, mofo. You just got grifted.
Because it's not art. That's not a song. So
it's a felony. It's a felony what you're defending right now. So okay, so
Jack Smith.
Yeah, now we're on to Jack Smith. Jack Smith. I just saw
preemptively pressuring Pence to come in and testify. I love that one.
I saw that he's asking the judge to compel.
Yeah. That's preemptively compelling Mike Pence to come in and testify. It's like he is on it. He is like 2 steps ahead of everybody else. He is just so on it.
And the guy I saw a little clip on YouTube. The guy that Mike Pence was talking to, the lawyer, during the whole thing when they were trying to overturn the election. The guy he was on the phone with, that lawyer, was like, there is no way that you can do this. You do not have the power to overturn an election. That same lawyer came out and drug Mike Pence through the freaking mud about his defense that he doesn't have to because he's the Senate. He's in the Senate. So that's why he can't go and testify to the DOJ and to Jack Smith.
It's all a ruse.
Yeah.
But it's funny because it's Amy Berman Jackson, the judge, and she's the one in all the sedition cases with the January 6th people is telling them, this is treason and this and that and the other. So this does not bode well for Pence.
Oh, but this is the thing I don't understand, though. Why so resistant? The dude tried to have you and your family killed because your wife and daughter were there.
I would have went down to the local sporting goods store and got a tent and an extra one just in case something happened to it, and would have been waiting outside the courthouse to testify against Donald Trump.
Johnny, I don't get it. The guy is despised. He has no political power. He's in a world of legal freaking problems. His support is so small that there's no way he could ever win an election again. And it's like he's a one-trick pony. Even if Russia were to step in and try to help him again, there's no way he would freaking win. So it's
he
like,
couldn't beat Biden.
Dude, why? He tried to kill you and your family, dude.
Only reason I can think is Pence has got to have something that he is running from too.
What? Gay pictures of him, like mama, like mommy doesn't know what he's doing. Mommy doesn't know what daddy's doing.
So what's our question around this?
Will Mike Pence testify to is it a grand jury?
Yeah, it's a grand jury.
Will he be forced to testify to the grand jury?
First card justice. I think that's enough for me. Line of cups, yeah. Because it's enough of this, I'll do it if I want to type of business. Yeah. I think so. What he wants and desires, Nine of Cups is dead, Ten of Swords, justice compels.
I got a yes too. Writer, child, and stars. Yep. He's going to have to go. I am wondering because there's 2 cards here that talk about younger males. I'm wondering if there's something here that he doesn't really want to talk about because it involves the little people. And by little people, I mean the peanut butter people and the other people, which I didn't even think about that before, but those two, Jack of Spades and Jack of Hearts.
Yeah, I get the judge compels him to testify, bring evidence here. She bullies him into moving. It's interesting. There's also a female that has done some backstabbing on Pence. I'm getting that they want to question her about. So something that he may have done that was kind of treasonous, whether it was meeting, like, he was aware of the meetings with the peanut butter boys or something, but it's something he knew Trump did. He knew about Trump's plans. And I also get something about manipulating stuff around COVID, which is interesting because Pence was on the COVID task force. So I don't know if something may come up outside of the January 6th crap.
Mm-hmm.
That strikes me as funny, but I get something about COVID.
So Jack Smith has also subpoenaed Javanka. Javanka has also been subpoenaed. So can we look at that? First Ivanka, and then I guess later on Jared.
And he's also, after Kevin McCarthy gave those tapes from January 6th to Fox, he's also subpoenaed to get all the tapes from the Capitol from January 6th.
I missed that whole thing. What's going on with that?
All the Capitol tapes, which we saw clips of during the January 6th committee meetings, they had over 40,000 hours of Capitol police tapes, which tells you everywhere they've got cameras, right, in the Capitol, because you got all the different angles and everything. He gave them all to Tucker Carlson.
Why would he do that?
Well, I'm sure Tucker's going to chop them up and spin it. It's just tourists. Because all this crap is getting ready to hit the fan with Jack Smith. They all know it. So, and I'm sure, he had some agreement with Tucker to help him get elected as speaker. Like, hey, Tucker, you go talk to so-and-so, help me get elected. He agreed to give him 40,000 hours of videotapes. And the other people, like Bernie, what's his name, that was on the committee, the January 6th committee, they're pissed. So Jack Smith has already told Kevin, you got to give me a copy of all the tapes.
But here's the thing. What does that accomplish? Because really. nobody in their right mind that is not inside of that little bubble of conservatism and the echo chamber where you want to hear the same thing over and over and over and over again, you're not going to change America's mind.
No,
you're not changing anybody's mind. The only thing you're doing
is a security risk, because, like, if they want to do it again, if they want to try to do another insurrection, they're going to know, like, where all the cameras are and where the weak points are, and it's a security risk, for the Capitol. Yeah. Look, go down here to the lower level. This is where we broke in, and.
Did we have a question on that one?
Yeah, I was asking, what is Ivanka going to tell Jack Smith? Sorry.
My Queen of Wands keeps falling out tonight. I don't know what that's about. Maybe something with Melania this week. My Nancy Pelosi card too. I'm trying to figure out.
I get the clover, the whip, the house, the heart, and the mice. She's going to tell him that when it was being criticized, there were members in the entourage that wanted something or that desired an outcome, but that was eaten away. And what they desired was to steal and take something away. It was and then with Clover, House, and Mice, the team with the mice that was in the entourage working on that when we're doing it via thievery, and then with the whip and heart, it was a very passionate desire, a lot of passionate fighting and arguing as well. So I don't think she's going to say anything revolutionary that wasn't known before.
Yeah, that we didn't see in the January 6th committee meetings, but I guess she's got it, like the details that the White House worked on with the Republicans. She might have something there to give up. So how they were having those meetings with Trump. She's going to talk about how he wouldn't accept the loss. Other than that, the only other thing, she might have something, some sort of revelation about like the Peanut Butter Boys and the Oath Creepers that kind of breaks it all down. Something about the younger people.
So I get the page it comes. There's some sort of manipulation of the naive, and I think that's what she's going to talk about. How he was basically in charge of them, and they acted under his directive. I'm adding that part in because the King of Wands is the dictator. He dictates, you do this, you do that type of thing. So he's that guy. He's the leader. He's the CEO. He's the person in charge of a group of people. And so it's something about manipulating the naive.
So let's jump to the mannequin real quick and see what he's going to tell Jack Smith. By the mannequin,
Yeah,
Jared Kushner.
He was on January 6th was flying back from Saudi Arabia, so he wasn't even there.
But he got
I want to ask him about that $2 billion he got post Trump, though.
He got the peanut anyway, because he might have not been there. That didn't mean he wasn't privy to the meetings beforehand.
Yep. Him and Mnuchin, it's funny, both were coming back from Saudi Arabia, and Mnuchin got $1 billion and Jared $2. I'd be asking him about that meeting.
I think he's going to try to shift some blame or some attention on some man. There's the Temperance card with the Page of Swords. Page of Swords is a spy. And so there's it's also negative news and gossip, lies too. And then the Five of Pentacles and Ten of Swords. He wants an ending to someone. So he's literally going to throw somebody under the bus. If your ending comes with this, then they are coming with everything that they could possibly throw at you. So there's some man here, Four of Pentacles, who was supposed to be sort of in a safe zone a little bit. But it's like being in a block of ice in the middle of a fire. Eventually it'll get to you. So there's someone here that he is going to just throw completely under the bus and try to shift a little focus onto them. But that's what I get.
I get the same thing, Johnny. Again, he's gonna talk about somebody else that was in the circle of support and burden them, because he's overseas, working on his business deals, getting all his money lined up. He wasn't there. He's gonna dump it on somebody else. I feel like it's going to be like Mark Meadows. I'm getting I got the King of Pentacles here, and I'm getting a Mark Meadows energy off it.
So for the person in the chat, no, Donald Trump is not wearing ankle jewelry, and I will tell you why. You have to be indicted first. Judges don't just go around slapping ankle bracelets on people for fun. So I'm here to tell you, 2 + 2 = 4. If you want to believe it equals 35, have fun with that. But I'm saying no.
I'm saying no with that. He is not wearing an ankle bracelet.
He's not wearing an ankle bracelet. You don't get an ankle bracelet just because.
He needs to be, but
he needs to be, but that's not the way it works. You need to be indicted, first. So I get the rider, the ship, the stars, the house, and the clover. I get that he tells them that he was abroad He was somewhere far visiting overseas with writer and ship. But he can perhaps expand with the stars there. He can expand on what the entourage was doing for the win. Those closest, the closest. So that's what I get. So, petty question for the night. When that young lady from the Georgia grand jury did the interview, Spanky lost his mind. He went on these freaking rants over on his Truth Social, just losing his shit. It was hilarious. It was so funny. So I want to know, how many diaper changes did he get after?
No, it's not possible. Bottles on the wall and how many diapers?
I'm doing poop readings.
How many diaper changes does Spanky have when he heard the bombshell coming out? And that girl said at least 12 people.
At least 12 people were recommended for indictment.
And she also said that no, it's not anything new that we haven't. We're not going to be blown out.
We're not going to be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
And at least 2 that should be brought up on perjury.
So let me see. How many diaper changes did he have?
Oh, Milani, better go.
Oh, Jesus
stay
Christ.
somewhere else for a little while. It's going to be smelly around there.
So I got the fish, which is number 34. That's a lot of diaper changes, all right? So, but fish in its entirety means a lot, in abundance. So he went through a lot of diaper changes. A lot of diaper changes. And then I get the storks, 17. So I'm going to say he shit and pissed himself 17 times. There you go, guys. There you go.
I'm going to say 27 times. It's like nostalgia for the little baby truck in the world card. And this is 21 and 6. I'm going to say 27 times.
Oh, my God. He shit and pissed himself 27 times. I get 17. Johnny, what lucky number? It's like playing the lottery, Johnny.
I told you I'm not doing poop readings.
We're waiting on the next delivery of diapers.
I find it gross. But what I was doing, I was preoccupied with something else. I would put a channel in the chat, go over and watch the videos, show some love. It's called Tarot by the Bay. Very new channel. Not a new reader, though, but new channel. So y'all go and subscribe and watch. No poop talk. Go, go subscribe and watch and all that good stuff.
Well, thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Thank you, Johnny and Jenny. Next week, we will be on Sir Johnny's channel.
I'll be on time that time.
Sir Johnny's channel next week. I'm feeling better, so maybe I'll go live this week. I don't know. Don't hold me to it, though, because I just start reading and then I get lost and forget to go live. So. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Everybody.
Bye.